Hi, this is Rich Harrington, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial for the holiday seasons. Let's make some wallpaper just to go ahead and actually decorate our desktop a bit. I'm going to check my monitor resolution. It's 1440 by 900, but it is the high DPI, so I need to actually double those numbers to 2880 by 1800. So let's go ahead and select the crop tool, and I'll type in a specific size. There we go. We'll save that as a preset and choose OK. Here we're cropping to the size that we need. Now, as I drag, notice that we can go ahead and recompose the elements based on the classic rule of thirds, and that's looking pretty good. I'll just nudge that into place a bit and press return. All right, what I'd like to do now is create a little bit of an area of defocus. So I'll duplicate the layer and run a Gaussian blur on it so it's pretty heavy. That's good. I'm just pushing the depth of field in the picture a bit more. And we'll name these layers. And click to add a layer mask on the layer itself. Now, with the gradient tool, I'm going to use a black to white gradient just to drag through here and create a transition zone. That's looking pretty good. I could toggle that off and on, and you see I'm just creating a little bit more defocus. Because that's a gradient and its own layer mask, I can easily tweak that and just continue to draw to refine that. And it's looking pretty good as we toggle in between. Let's go ahead and just select that ornament, and I'll fill that with black so that area is clear and in focus. There we go. Looks good. All right, I'd like to play with the colors a little bit here. To do that, I'm going to take advantage of a color lookup table, which is a new feature in CS6. If you don't have this, you could just skip this step. And what I'm going to do is take advantage here of film stock, and that just sort of ages the picture a bit. I like that. Looks good. I'm just going to back that off a little, and we'll put that around 70%. Toggling off and on, you see we get a nice aging of the image. It starts to take on a feel of nostalgia, much like from the 70s or 80s in my own childhood. I think that looks good. Let's add a gradient map now to do a little bit of tinting. And these also have some great presets in Photoshop CS6. You could go ahead and click the pop-up menu there and choose Photographic Toning. And that loads all of these presets you see here. And it becomes very easy to select one of those to start to tint the image. Now, don't worry, these are a little strong at first, but we can easily blend these back to get the look that we're going for. I'm just trying to find something that helps age the picture a bit, give it a little bit of a mood. It's feeling pretty good. Let's go with something a little bit in the, that looks nice, a little bit of sepia in the highlights, and we'll change that to something like overlay or soft light, so it's a little bit gentle. That's looking pretty good. I'll back that off a little bit too, just doing a little bit of tint. All right, now we'll go ahead and finish this out with some text. I'm going to create a new layer, and we'll call this wash. And on the wash layer, with the marquee tool, I'm just going to click and drag. There we go. Fill that with a solid color and apply a little bit of Gaussian blur. Since we've already run that filter, I can press Command Option F or Command Alt F to bring up the filter dialog box. That looks good. We'll set that into a overlay mode. A little bit strong. Let's try screen at a lower opacity. That looks pretty good. Just creating an area where there's a nice readable zone for text. I'm going to transform that a little bit so it becomes a wash top to bottom. And that looks good to me. All right, T for text. Let's go ahead and sample the color. I'm going to find a nice vibrant red. And click and drag. And give it a quick type. Remember, you can always bring up the text palette here, adjust your properties, and then simply step through the available fonts using the up and down arrow until you find something that conveys the right mood that you're looking for. I'd like to contrast a very modern font with the older style image. Happy with that there. And let's just finish that out with a little bit of a drop. Remember, you can always drag that into position so it feels right. Soften that up a bit. There we go. And let's improve the readability with a gentle stroke. Switch the alignment there. Lower that down a little bit. And drop it down a bit. All right. A simple composition, one that I am happy with, however. And I'm just going to save this out. We'll use the Save for Web command to optimize it. And using the JPEG preview here, we can really check the compression settings. Looks like the details coming through there. Text is nice and clean, so we'll just go with JPEG maximum quality. And we can go ahead and push that out. While I'm here, I'll select that and copy. I've saved my optimized JPEG, and we'll go ahead and choose File, Save As, and store a layered TIFF or a Photoshop file so we can go ahead and return and tweak the layers in the future if we need to. All right, for Tip Squirrel, my name is Rich Harrington. A nice simple little tutorial to get you started this morning that combines several different Photoshop techniques that you could put in use with your images throughout the holiday season and, of course, the new year.